Hi, I'm Nick Varios, and we're here at the Art of Costume Design in Film exhibition. We're back, and we are open. Last year, we were closed because of COVID, but now we're back and open. We have 22 films exhibited here, the costumes of 22 films, including the 5 nominees for Academy Awards Best Costume, which includes Cruella, Cyrano, Nightmare Alley, West Side Story, and Dune. So let me show you some of those top nominees. Let's start with Cruella right here. This is Cruella, costume designer Jenny Biven. And you know, the inspiration was London 1970s punk. She did a lot of research with that, and so she looked at all the stores during that time, during the late 60s and 70s, stores like Crocodile and Biba, as well as Vivienne Westwood. So you see a lot of that influence, especially with the young Estella, the young Cruella, let's just say. She was inspired by a German punk new wave singer named Nina Hagen. Look it up. That was the inspiration. A lot of times costume designers use muses, inspiration, to then start doing the costumes. Speaking of inspiration, the fire red dress that we see right here. This is that infamous dress. The coat caught on fire. This dress is inspired by a famous couture gown by American couturier Charles James. 1955, it's called the tree dress because it's shaped like a tree, but that's not where the name comes from. It's from one of his society clients, Marietta Peabody Fitzgerald Tree. She's the mother of model Penelope Tree. And so one of the costume designer's cutters has been wanting to make this Charles James gown, remake it for years and years and years, and finally, for Cruella, he got to do it. Let's move on. Dune, and this is so visually gorgeous, this film. This is costume designed by Jacqueline West, and she had a co-costume designer, Bob Morgan. Why? Because it was such a huge undertaking. 2,000 costumes were custom made for the film. She said it was even more than Star Wars or even Ben-Hur. Now when you look at that old movie, Ben-Hur, it's a lot of costumes. This even had more. So it's all about futurism, but really her inspiration, she took different time periods. She looked at the medieval times, she also looked at the Templar times, as well as several movies, Lawrence of Arabia and Apocalypse Now. Jacqueline West, the costume designer, even coined a term. She called these costumes mod-evil, meaning a modern take on medieval. Now let's talk about some of these costumes. Timothy Chalamet right here. This is Timothy Chalamet's still suit. Now for the film, they made 250 still suits. The still suit is a futuristic suit for the new climate change era. And it's made of 5 to 6 layers of micro sandwich fabric. It's very similar to the fabric that is used by Under Armour for football players. And it's very thick. They had to make all custom because it had to fit people in different sizes, like skinny Timothy Chalamet, as well as Jason Momoa, who's a little bigger, a little more athletic. The Bene Gesserit. I absolutely love this. There's a scene in the film when you see the women, the Bene Gesserit, just walking out of the spaceship, all in black, like this. The inspiration, it was a lot of Cristobal Balenciaga, the couturier Balenciaga, but in the 40s. You look at the shape of the hat, you look at the black, the mourning. It's a futuristic vision of the abaya, the Muslim abaya that covers the body. Look at that, as well as the Catholic nun's habit. Lady Jessica, let's close up on this gorgeous, gorgeous dress. Lady Jessica, she was inspired by the paintings of Giotto, the Italian painter, and his paintings of the French nuns. That's why you see that. But he also wanted to do a little more sexier. That's what the costume designer said. So not only was it inspired by the nuns, it was also inspired by 1930s bias cut dresses. You see the shape. I love this film. I love the costumes. We're here in the tableau for Nightmare Alley, another one that's nominated for Academy Award Best Costume. This is Louis Secura. He's originally from Canada. And now this, of course, revolves around 2 costume worlds. The seedy carnival world in the first half of the movie, and then high society glamour in the second half. of the world. So there's two different costume worlds. And then all those costumes that you see in the carnival, you think they're used, they're vintage, they're old, they're worn. If they looked old, they were made old. 90% of the costumes for this film were custom made, even those old seedy carnival costumes that you see. Now, you look at Kate Blanchette, you see we have a gown here, her suit when she's a psychiatrist. She was inspired by the femme fatale, 1941, Lauren Bacall, Ingrid Bergman. So you see those outfits. He actually found some 1930s sketchbooks that inspired him and Kate Blanchette's look. Look closely also at Bradley Cooper's suit transition when he goes from carnival, and then how different his suits are when he is in the high society show world. They're more fitter, they're more elegant, they're nicer because he's trying to con all those rich people by looking like them.